The metallic tang of recycled air in the warrens was Lana's lullaby, a constant reminder of the rock above and the grind below. Her fingers, stained perpetually with grease and fine Martian dust, traced the cracked housing of the domestic water purifier. It was a pre-colonization relic, hauled up from the deepest salvage levels, and its quantum filtration relay had finally sputtered its last. Without it, the entire block of squatter hab units would be drinking recycled gray water that tasted of old dreams and desperation. Fixing it meant a trek from the warren's dim, illicit heart to the chaotic, neon-drenched arteries of the hub. Lana pulled her worn synth-leather jacket tighter, the fabric stiff from countless washes in reclaimed water. The warrens were a claustrophobic tangle of low-ceiling tunnels, jury-rigged power conduits, and the ever-present thrum of illicit machinery. Light came from flickering glow panels, painting faces in stark, fleeting moments of white and blue. Every shadow held a secret, every corner a potential deal or danger. Her workshop, barely larger than her hab unit, was a haven of salvaged tech at a constant aroma of ozone and burnt insulation. Here, in the forgotten depths, she was a queen of rust and improvisation. But this particular relay, a specialized model only produced by a high-end Luna manufacturer, wouldn't be found here. She navigated the familiar labyrinth, her boots scuffing on scarred concrete floors. A gambling den spilled raucous laughter and the clatter of chits into the passage. Further on, a repurposed laundry recycler spewed steam, coating the air in a humid chemical haze. Lana kept her gaze low, acknowledging familiar nods but avoiding eye contact with the hardened faces that populated these levels. Trust was a rare commodity, usually traded for favors or shielded by a blade. The ascent was gradual, a climb through the city's social strata. The air grew marginally cleaner, the light less harsh, the hum of distant traffic replacing the constant industrial groan. Finally, a series of steep metal staircases delivered her onto the precipice of the hub. The transition hit her like a physical blow. A wave of sound, smell, and light washed over her. Neon signs, bright and garish, screamed promotions for everything from vat-grown protein skewers to off-world stimulants. Holographic advertisements, glitching with dizzying frequency, flickered across shop fronts. The air, thick with the scent of 100 cuisines and the ozone from power conduits, felt alive, almost breathable. The hub was a multi-level vertical cityscape, a beautiful, chaotic mess of open-fronted shops, makeshift walkways, and rickety bridges, all under a canopy of dangling power cables. After the monastic darkness of the warrens, it was a blinding, glorious sensory overload. Lana clutched the scuffed datapad with the relay's specs, feeling suddenly exposed. The hub was where legitimate commerce and the gray market met in a tense, symbiotic dance. Here, identity meant less about where you were from and more about what you could get. She moved through the bustling crowds, a river of humanity flowing between stalls piled high with goods from across the system. She ignored the hawkers, the street performers, and the subtle pushes from pickpockets. Her destination was the circuit breaker, a small, unassuming stall tucked behind a towering display of antique data slates. Its proprietor, an old man named Bex, had a reputation for sourcing anything, provided the credits were right and you didn't ask too many questions. Bex's stall was a jumble of glowing wires, salvaged components, and discarded circuit boards. The air here was thick with the smell of solder. He looked up as Lana approached, his eyes, magnified by thick glasses, scanning her quickly. "Another ghost from the deep levels, eh? What can old Bex scrounge up for you?" he rasped, his voice like rustling paper. Lana held out the datapad. Quantum filtration relay, Commonwealth issue, pre-CE34 model. Hardened casing. Needs to filter heavy metals and organics for a large-scale domestic unit. Bex took the datapad, his brow furrowing as he scrolled through the specs. Ah, the relics. Strong but picky eaters when it comes to juice. And the Commonwealth issue. That's a rare bird. Most of that tech stays on Earth-Luna-controlled channels under strict export regs. Why not upgrade to a current model? No credits for an upgrade, Lana said flat. And the old unit is integrated into a dozen systems. Easier to replace the relay. Bex grunted, tapping his chin. He looked from the datapad to Lana, then back to the datapad. I got one. Pulled it from a decommissioned Commonwealth Planetary Survey ship. Legit salvage for me, but it'll cost you. Double standard rates for the trouble of getting it off-world and the risk of selling it on-world under the Commonwealth's nose. He named his price. Lana's stomach clenched. Double rates. It was a week's profit from her last 5 repair jobs, enough to buy a month of good air for her block. A week of tireless work, salvaged parts, barely profitable jobs, all evaporating for this single essential piece. She pictured the grateful faces of the block, the clean water flowing. A small act of defiance against the endless grind. It had to be done. With a sigh, she pulled her comlink and transferred the credits, watching her balance dwindle. Bex nodded, a flicker of something almost like respect in his eyes. He reached under his counter and pulled out a small sealed package. Inside, nestled in foam, was the relay. A gleaming, complex piece of technology, almost pristine. Good luck, kid. Don't blow yourself up. Lana took the package, its smooth, cold surface a stark contrast to the grime on her hands. The weight of it was immense, not just physically, but symbolically. It was a lifeline for her community, bought at a high price in the city of stark contrasts. She turned to leave, melting back into the noisy river of humanity. The hub, for all its vibrant chaos, felt like a stage, a performance. She missed the honest grime of the Warrens, where every drip of water, every flickering light was a struggle, but at least the struggle was real. She had walked through the city's heart, traded her meager savings, and emerged with the key to survival. It was a small victory, invisible to the gleaming towers above, but in the depths of the Warrens, it would mean everything.